Hello everyone and welcome back to the 18th of spring. We cleared out a lot of stuff yesterday. A lot of stuff. Let's hope that today is a good day. Weather report? No, it's sunny tomorrow. Dang it. It's never gonna rain. Neutral today. Living off the land. Rains, you don't have to water your crops. I know! I'm waiting for it to rain, man. I gotta water my crops every single day, feels like. Without fail. Oh yeah, we're gonna make another scarecrow. It takes that, and I think, where's the wood at? There it is. We're gonna have to make quite a few more, actually. But we'll worry about that later. Let's just place this one down. Oops. Guess here? I don't know. Greetings, Squirrely. It's been our pleasure to inform you that your farm will be featured in next week's up-and-coming Callum of Stardew Valley Tribune. Congratulations, we're impressed with your quick progress, SVT. Okay. One of these font characters looks different than the rest of the set. And that would be the ampersand. It doesn't look like it fits in there. It's odd. And look at all the space now we have. We need to remember that that is our tree. Not to mess with it. What did I say we were... Oh. First we're going to water our crops. Oh, I was going to tell this line to plant the one thing, but we let go of our hoe. That's a bummer. Anyways, we'll just water our crops. We'll go do some fishing, get some extra money. Because I think we're going to need it. I don't know what we're going to need it for, but we're going to need it. Maybe we're just going to need it for energy for stuff. But before we forget about anything, once we water these crops, where's our thing? I'm going to go ship one algae. You need to make sure that that doesn't get trapped. I feel like there's some on the mouse pad. Oh man, this last week, I feel like I've stayed up way too late, way too much. One time is when the sub pumps broke. I don't remember if I told that story or not. I think I did. It's really hard because I lost a lot of recordings. And it was just yesterday that I lost the recordings. I can't remember if I lost the, when I told the stories, basically. Send one potato, actually. So I think I told that story. But I've also been staying up because the 7-month-old has decided that she no longer wants to sleep every night. I mean, she wouldn't sleep all the night through anyways. But now she's picked up just not crying, just screaming endlessly. She really doesn't want to do anything except for scream. But she just goes nuts sometimes. Like, there's a couple things that we can do to help calm her down, but it's not. It will calm her down for a minute or two, and then she's right back at it. Did that say that I could take from this? Oh, I can put out his fire. Haha! Good luck, sucker. So she'll just lay there next to us and just scream and scream and scream. It'll keep you awake. It'll keep you awake for sure. Alright. Let's go fishing. Which is alright. I mean, the middle child used to scream when she was younger. She didn't scream at night though. She never really cried. She would just... We literally had to buy a new crib when she was done because she was a very emotional child. She would stand there at her crib and just shake it and shake it and shake it and scream. And that's like if you left her in there for like 3 minutes too. Like, let's say you have to go to the bathroom and wash your hands. That's what she would do nearly the whole time. So she like ripped the threads out for the bolts. Like you just couldn't put it back in anymore. So we had to get a new crib because of that kid. Like my mom always said like she never cried. Never. She never heard that baby cry, but man, she would hear her scream. Like if you didn't do what she wanted you to do. She wasn't ever sad, she was just angry. She's kind of the same way, but she's 3 now, so she's angrier often. Which, I mean, sometimes the things that she gets angry about is just hilarious, and I can't help but laugh, you know? Like one of the things that she does, she did this the other day. Gosh, I don't know how I told the story exactly, but basically she ran and fell and hit her lip, right? So there was blood coming from her lip, and she's holding it, and I was like, oh, did you fall down and bite your lip? She's like, no, the floor bit my lip. And she was very serious about it with my wife. And my wife was kind of laughing about it too, but it was a little bit harder because, you know, the kid's hurt, but she's just very angry. And so like it was at a birthday party, so other people were coming up to her and like, oh, honey, are you okay? Are you okay? She's like, no, the floor bit my lip. And you don't know what to say to a 3-year-old when they do that. It's like, are you sure you didn't bite your lip? No, the floor did it to me. Because to her, the floor did, because she fell and hit her face on the floor. But, you know, obviously she couldn't be the perpetrator of the whole event, so it has to be something else's fault. So she's a child, doesn't quite understand it. But yeah, that kid's funny. I think both of them are going to be pretty interesting. I've come up with weird nicknames for my children, so that way when I'm in public, I can say the name, like say the quick nickname, and it's a short 1-syllable word. Like the middle child, I call him me. Just M-E, me. So like if she's messing around, I can just shout me in my dad voice quite loud. I'll tell you what, I'll give you a warning. If you're wearing headphones, probably just take them off right now for a second or mute them. But if she's messing around, this is seriously what I'll do. I'll go, me! And normally, you know, she perks up and she knows that she needs to calm down. But all the other kids don't really know, like even the adults don't know, like why in the world would someone just yell, me? You know? The other kid I call Do, which that's spooked a lot of people too. But we can be in like large settings. So I can get the kids' attention so that they can know immediately where I am. Because no one else is going to just yell the word me, or no one else is just going to yell the word do. But it's not such obscure words where, you know, like you have no idea what the person's talking about, but it's not like a made-up word, so it's not too confusing. It's just like, oh, why did that person only say that word so loud? And that's just to get my kids' attention, which works out great. So when the third kid gets a little older, I think have a hard time picking one for that kid. But right now I call her Mini-Me because she reminds me so much of the 3-year-old, because just the way she acts. Like sometimes when she gets mad, she just screams. That's it. Like, and just like some of her facial expressions, I've lined up their pictures. The 3 faces look very similar, but we have reaction pictures of like the kids. And I had to go through a lot of pictures for the first kid. First kid's always smiling. The second kid, you could tell. People said she looked like me because she always had a very bothered look on her face. And so the younger kid has that sometimes, but not as much. But like, I got a picture of her doing the exact same thing, and you could tell. But she has a lot of the same like reactions and mannerisms as I think the middle kid does. So right now I call her Mini-Me often. I don't think my wife approves of that. But it's funny. I mean, I'm not calling her Mini-Me as like Mini-Me, myself, me, but Mini-Me as like the second kid. Because sometimes she gets really, really strong feelings about stuff too. Oddly enough though, the youngest kid, I mean, all about smiling. Smile at people. I mean, it isn't like what she does all the time, but she'll do it. You know, you can get her to smile. It's no big deal. The second kid, you couldn't. You just couldn't. There was no doing that. But the second kid would laugh. This kid doesn't. My wife says she has laughed 2 times in her life. I have heard 1 time. And she's 7 months old. She just That's not her thing. What she does instead is she squints her eyes big time, like really tight, and opens her mouth really, really wide and smiles big. So it looks hilarious, but she doesn't really laugh, which is kind of odd. She just does that. So it's like, my wife calls it her silent laugh, which is funny, and it's humorous to see. And she'll do that. So, like, she co-sleeps with us most of the time. Like, I'll wake up and she'll be sleeping in between me and my wife. So I'll wake up and she'll just be like ripping on my beard, because that's what she does. That's what all my kids have done. They just like tear out my beard. But she'll be like climbing on my face and like tearing on my beard. And then I'll open my eyes and she'll have that squinty, big, goofy grin on her face. It's hilarious all the time. The pulling on the beard, though, has never really bothered me. I mean, other people have said stuff about it, like, oh, that must hurt. I mean, the kids will do it to my hair, too. I don't know. It just doesn't bother me as much. I guess it's just something I'm used to. Having kids and falling asleep on the floor and just letting them crawl all over me, like, when I first had a kid, I was dead tired all the time. So, like, if I accidentally fell asleep on the floor and she would crawl all over me and pull my hair, it never really bothered me. And I think I just got used to it. But before I had kids, man, I would wake up on anything. No problem. Like, man, I swear, someone would open up a door, like, all the way across the house, and I would be wide, wide awake. But now, I mean, I would wake up at the front door open. Like, there's certain things that I listen for, and I've woken up for. Like, someone pulling, turn around our driveway, I'll wake up. But the kid walks in the room, starts talking to me or talking to my wife, I really don't wake up to that. It's just like the other noises in the house. If the cat walks up to the door and rubs on the door, I'll wake up. You know, the outside door, I'll wake up to that. But not really anything when someone's trying to wake me up. Hey, there's a nice fishing spot up there. I'm gonna need this energy, I think. Let's try and find the sweet spot. Is that it? Yeah. So it's interesting having kids, the different things that they are. Right now, man, the oldest is so easy to deal with. I mean, she gets stuff done. She disobeys every once in a while, but for how old she is, she's really good. I was talking to her before her birthday in January, and I asked her. No, I didn't ask her. I told her. I was like, you know, you're reading really good for a 6-year-old. I would actually say that you're reading really good for a 7-year-old, and you're almost 7. She's like, Dad, stop joking around. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, Dad, just stop it. This isn't funny. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, I'm almost 6. I'm not almost 7. You gotta be kidding me. Like, the way she reacts and stuff, like, just the way she handles herself, I think is pretty mature for her age. And her reading ability is pretty good. Little kid really doesn't care. So, she's not quite as well going. But also the oldest kid has really wanted to start to play video games like this, and she always looks over my shoulder whenever I'm like looking at my phone or looking at anything. She's like, "What you doing?" I'm reading. What are you reading about? So I always tell her, I'm like, "Well, you'd be able to tell if you know how to read, now wouldn't you?" And I think like just those little things has kind of really pushed her into wanting to learn to read. Because when I found out that she like loves video games, well, is going to love video games, I bought a game on Steam. I forget what game it's even called. But I brought her upstairs after I bought it, and I showed it to her, and I said, listen, I bought this game for you when you learn how to read. Because it's a game where you like raise a monster or something like that. And basically, it just asks you questions. Like it tells you a little story, and then it asks you a question and gives you a couple options. Like a choose your own adventure type of thing. I think that's what those games are called. So she's super excited to play that. So like she's really ramped up on her reading ever since I showed her that. Like she's more focused on it because she has some type of goal of something that's special for her, because I really don't let my kids play any video games, and I don't play any video games around my kids. I always wait till they go to bed, because I don't want to waste my time that I have around them on video games. And I don't want them to see my strong addiction for video games either, because I got one. And if I let them do it, I'm sure they'll have the same addiction. I know she will. I don't think the 3-year-old will, because I think she's been around them just as much as her older sister. Because I brought them down around Christmas time, because I was down for 2 weeks. I brought down the old regular Nintendo, and we played for, I want to say 2-3 hours, and the oldest kid was just absolutely hooked from the first minute she played. I mean, I brought him down a couple times since then, but we didn't play like that much straight with the kids. We would play half an hour here, an hour there, or whatever. But I don't leave them downstairs either. Like, there's no TV hooked up downstairs. I just bring it upstairs, and maybe once a month we'll bring it downstairs and watch a movie, or I'll hook up the video games for half an hour, an hour. But you can very much tell with the oldest kid, she loves video games and wants to play them. Middle kid, care less. I don't even think the youngest one's ever been in a room when anyone's had a TV on. Now my wife has her little tablets on and stuff like that. She'll watch TV in bed when the youngest is there. Man, that kid grabs for the whatever device all the time. But I think that's part of being like so young, is they just reach for everything. With that kid made serious progress too. Our middle child is very lovey-dovey to other children, like baby children. Loves to snuggle them and stuff, and so like it was a constant fight with her and our youngest. Like, you can't do that. You need to let go of her hands. She needs her hands to hold herself up. She needs her hands to learn how to crawl. Once she finally grasped that at like 6 months or whatever, within a week that kid had learned how to crawl and could pull herself up on stuff. Before that, she had not a chance to do any of that stuff. She was just, every time she got put on the floor, her sister would pull her hands out from underneath her. She'd lay on top of her because she was, quote unquote, snuggling with her. And now the youngest flinches when that kid gets around, because she thinks like she's gonna get her hands pulled out from underneath her. She's gonna get like terrorized in one way or another. I don't blame her for flinching. I don't blame her one bit. Let's see, what do we got here? Do we want to keep this largemouth bass? That's a lot of energy right there. I think we will. We'll keep those ones. We'll keep them in the box over here. And then we'll ship everything else. Some Joja Cola we can drink. I feel like we're doing pretty good on food right now. Oh, what is this thing? I don't have any iron yet still. Dang it, man. So let's ship all the other fish. Save the potato to ship tomorrow. That way we remember to ship something. Because it will be in our inventory, so we'll ship it first thing in the morning. It'll be great. Whoa! I just woke up and ran across, falls right back asleep. Alright, so we are finally level 9 fishing. Yes, one more level. And then we're topped out on it. How much did we get? We still got 2,300 and we kept like cash money fish. That's pretty good. So we got 3,400 for